Good morning, bon dia, buenos dias. Welcome to the second day of the Idea Showroom here at Primavera Pro. This is a space where we offer young projects or startup projects to come and explain to us how they want to have a positive effect on the music industry or any industry related with creativity and technology in many cases. Today we start with a project called Made by Ikigai. It's a project titled Origami, and it is a new custom music catalog launching this year, launched by Made by Ikigai. In an AI-dominated market, they offer human sonic craftsmanship with fast turnaround times and fair pay. We welcome its founder and creative director, Ryan Dickinson. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, nice to be here.
He's flown in all the way from Australia to be here at Primavera Pro. Tell us, give me a little elevator pitch if you wish.
Yeah, do you want me to run through the deck? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So hello everybody. My name is Ryan. I'm the founder of Made by Ikigai. We're an award-winning music and sound service agency specializing in the advertising market. I personally have had a hand in crafting up soundtracks for many of the world's biggest brands. And I formed Made by Ikigai after quite a few years working for larger music agencies like Massive Music and Squeaky Clean Studios. And how we set up our particular agency is it's fully remote. So we're made up of a global network of music composers, musicians, sound designers, and we carefully curate each person for each project. So we're specifically matching the talent to the job itself rather than where they're based. Something we've been working on is in the background with that network of musicians that we have is a catalogue of music, and which we've called Origami. And I've got a short video.
Yeah.
I know we have very limited time, so I have a limited short time video I'll play for you, which gives us a little bit of an overview of it.
Music. It brings a story to life, and yet somehow it's usually the last piece of the production puzzle, which leaves you with a problem. Whether licensing, composing, or searching, these all take time, and somewhere in that rush, the music you end up with starts to suffer. What if we thought of music like a piece of paper, with its own DNA, but able to be shaped into many different forms? That's Origami. Bespoke music made with human craft and care, but delivered at the speed modern productions actually move. Composed by real artists, curated by experienced creatives, shaped to your film when you need it. Origami. Bespoke music, waiting for your story.
So to dive in a little bit more than what the video is giving the overview of is usually when we're approaching music for advertising space or many mediums, there's one of three routes they'll go, which is library music, bespoke, or licensing release music. With library, some of the shortfalls there is that there's a lot of it you have to go through. There's many hours of searching. You need an editor or someone with some sort of skills in the editing department to put it up against the pictures to see if it's going to work. And often there's a bit of generic sound to a lot of the catalogue library music out there.
Yeah.
With Bespoke, which is the world I've been working in for many years, it's great, but some of the limitations there is that you generally have to nail it down to one or two very specific references. You have to wait a few days for those demos to be crafted up, and usually an agency would give you something like 3 to 6 options, so you kind of have a handful to choose from as the deadline's approaching. And then with licensing, of course, if they're wanting the nostalgia and the well-known music, then that's the way they'll go. But some of the pull-ups there is that there's obviously a slow clearance time, multiple rights owners to look at. Every change you need to make needs approving. So with any of these options, one of the common factors that's a problem is time. And in the advertising world where I've been many years, time is not your friend. It's usually very, very fast turnarounds. And any one of these have their own problems with time. How we work with brands is that they would send us a brief, send the budget across, and ideally the working edit that they have. We'll curate options from our catalogue, but we'll go a step further than that and actually craft those pictures to craft that music to the picture, so they can see it working in situ in real time against the actual edit that they have. And that will happen same day or next day, so it's a very fast turnaround to see something working in that way. I know there's probably a few artists in the room, so how we work with artists is that it's a non-exclusive catalogue. We don't take ownership of your music. You retain full ownership yourself. We work out the fee ranges up front, so we know kind of what's okay and what's not okay. We can more or less understand we're pitching in the right area for you. And when we find a license, we split that 50-50, just evenly. It's straight down the line. The composer always, no matter what, will get at least 50% of the license fee, whatever's happening. So the whole ethos we had was to curate a world-class selection of pre-cleared music, making it simple and direct, so speed and quality. And then we wanted to make sure that people can see that working in their edit. They don't have to take the guesswork out of it. They'll instantly know if it's working for the story that they're shaping at the moment. And overall understanding was crafted by humans, not something that I thought I would ever have to say up until a couple of years ago, but it is human-made music. There is no generative music applied here. We, of course, use AI tools in other ways, but not in the generative part of the music making. And it's shaped to the film, and the speed is one of the factors that we really focus on. That's the key there. And that's my 3-minute elevator pitch on kind of what we're up to with Origami.
Very good, Ryan. I wonder, because we're being inundated with AI slop, even in playlists. If you let your Spotify run, like ambient for running on the beat or whatever, like half of it is AI slop. And one with a trained ear can detect it, but a lot of people can't. That's a very big competitor you're facing, I imagine. From your experience, are agencies open to working with slop, or do they see the value in handcrafted and human-made?
Well, if they're using that, we're probably not hearing about it, right? They're doing it and then they're not coming to us anymore. What I thought was that focusing on the crafted element, I think that's the part where AI is still not, doesn't have an advantage over humans. The fact that you can really score something in a picture, use like life experience, taste, curation, in every, if it's just a track that's going to have a beat rolling from top to bottom, then probably the AI slop will fix that problem for people. But where they need some quality and storytelling in the music, that's where we focus on that element in it.
And because you from speaking to colleagues who you've worked with in the past and everything, do you feel that there might be a hopeful trend where, because you see it online, people are sort of saying we've got to fight the slop, turn off the YouTube one, all of a sudden you can see it's AI generated fodder. I've got kids. Sometimes it's like, hey, that's AI. Stop, it's not the real K-pop demon hunters. Is there talk amongst your colleagues that there will be a trend for human-made, as almost like I don't want to say it's snobby, but you know how in the snob culture it's always like, oh yeah, this is made by humans, this is.
I think it's going to be an advantage. I think once we get over the initial rush of AI being the new thing, people will probably naturally come back around to something that they know is being crafted by hand. And behind the scenes, showing the work that goes into the work is something that we're focusing on into the future. Anytime you see the actual craft that's gone behind something, you care more about it. I think it's always going to be a battle that we're fighting. But I truly do believe that the human-made music, there is an edge to it. There is something that is surprising. There is quality factor there. And I think for me, it was a case of wherever it ends up going, you have to make your own personal decisions about what you do and don't want to be doing in life. And for me, typing in a prompt and sending out music as purely a commodity was something that I have no interest in my own life doing. So working with human-made music is something as a personal choice for me. And using AI to do my laundry and dishes, as it were, is something I'm very happy for it to do. Yeah. But I want to keep the part that I enjoy doing, and I still think the art is better for it.
Yeah. And will creators be able to just upload music onto Origami, to offer it, and then sign whatever legalities you have through your website?
Yeah, we do the paperwork up front with the artist, but it's very much a human experience. So a big part of the catalog is the curation element. We have maybe 3,000 tracks in there, but I've probably gone through maybe 10 or 12,000 tracks to get to those 3,000. So it's very much hard to get it in there, basically. And so that part of the catalog, the curation, the fact that it's gone past our ears, is a big part of what makes the catalog the quality that it is.
Yeah.
So an auto upload won't be an option for us with this catalog anytime soon, or maybe not at all. I very much like to give it a tick of approval firsthand before it goes in.
So people have to, artists have to contact you and your company directly to submit.
Yeah, exactly. So so far, I think we might have about 150 composers have brought the music into the catalog, and I've spoken with every one of those composers. Obviously we get a lot of incoming requests, but where I hear the quality of the tracks that I am interested in the catalog, I have an hour-long conversation with those people. We want to get to know them. We use them for actual bespoke compositions from the ground up. So we use those composers to make new tracks as well as the Origami catalog. But very much, I like to know the people we're working with. I like to know that they have a face and a name and where they are, and that with the curation with the shaping element being such a big part of it, having stems from the composers is a big thing. But also sometimes we don't have that, or sometimes we need to craft like a much more in-depth part of the song. So replacing, say, the lead melody with a totally new instrument, which comes along. Like it is completely bespoke. So we might have the composition there. We may only use 60% of the original composition and make another 30 or 40%. But I'll go back to that original composer, get them to go back in the studio and change those elements themselves if I can't do it myself from the stems. So very much it is a living, breathing human creation experience. It's just that we're not starting from 0% at the time that the track is being called for. We have a starting point that's a very good starting point. Sometimes the track makes it through fairly unscathed, and sometimes we are redoing 40% of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Ryan. Very interesting.
No worries. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the festival.
Appreciate it.
Pro.
Thank you.